Hey, it's Cavallo, welcome, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to know whether or not his drunk talk means anything. Did he mean what he really said? I mean, how many times have you been talking to a guy and wondered, is this guy drunk? Am I drunk? Did he actually say that? Did I say that? Did I text that? And how the heck do I cancel that? Well, let's sit down and have a little heart-to-heart about this, and I'll also tell you whether or not you can believe what that guy said when you're under the influence. Hey, and to make sure you don't miss a thing, make sure you subscribe to this video, little button below, and like it. Now, first of all, they've actually studied this little phenomenon under a microscope, and well, they've got some sciencey explanations for you. Don't worry, it's not going to be confusing. It's totally understandable. The easy answer is that everything he was saying was the truth. Mostly. You see, it's all part of the decision-making process. We have to choose the things we say we're going to say. You see, it's all part of the decision-making process. We have to choose to say the things that we do. We all know that alcohol also lowers our inhibitions. Your drunk ramblings and his are simply the things you're thinking, unfiltered. So when alcohol hits you, it doesn't make you act like a jerk, it just makes you care a whole lot less. We all have a social alarm system that gets triggered when you make a social mistake, and alcohol lowers the alarm volume. So you know what you're doing, but you don't get a signal to back down or self-censor yourself. So what does that mean about him? Well, it means he's mostly speaking the truth, but there's 5 reasons we do what we do when we've had a few drinks. So stinking thinking while drinking, reason number 1 is social lubrication. We use alcohol to help lower our social inhibitions. It's always easier to have a conversation when you don't have to worry so much about yourself or what you're saying. And this is something we all do because we're keenly focused on how people perceive us. Alcohol isn't about your inability to control your actions, but your general disinterest in what his actions and words might mean. And your reflexes aren't there to catch some of the mistakes you might make. Stinking thinking while drinking, reason number 2 is logistics. Intoxicated communication is sometimes used just to figure out how to make some plans, how to hook up and see other people. So if you make some wild plans for you and with you while you're under the influence, keep in mind they might not be as serious as he makes them out. You're probably going to have to verify those again when he's sober. Stinking thinking while drinking, reason number 3 is emotional confession. Many people who've had a few will call or tell a friend or romantic interest that they love them or they miss them, sometimes telling them things that are, well, a little bit more embarrassing. I just love you, baby. When can we get together? And then you check your clock and it's 3:43 a.m. Hey, if you want to get a little bit of late night loving, go for it, but a date will have to wait. It's definitely the product of distorted reasoning. Another not so great effect of drinking is that you or he might awaken a deep hurt or a grievance that suddenly feels like, well, it needs to be expressed right now. And it's probably not such a great idea, so watch out when you fish into your emotional backstory. It's probably linked directly to those moments where you see some guys, they're all hugging and they're crying together, I love you, man. Or a group of girls is crying and hugging and howling, I love you so much. They're all in the same situation. Remember, people can become completely different people when they've been drinking. Some people just a little bit, some people a whole lot. So stinking thinking while drinking, reason number 4 is entertainment. Very frequently, we just want to pull people into what's happening around us. And usually that's some sort of inebriated antics. You probably, watched a bunch of YouTube cautionary tale videos of people doing things that didn't end quite so well. Whether that's taking a fall or doing something ridiculously dumb, it's entertaining. And of course, we're going to share that when we're drunk. It's easy to send a text or share a video that way. He might share a link or a video with you, but that's just him in entertainment mode. There's nothing for you to interpret there. Stinking thinking while drinking, reason number 5 is getting it on. Yep, a lot of drunk texting and calling is due to the primal need to just get sexual. It's been this way since the start of time. I can imagine there were probably cavemen and cavewomen that were, texting with cave paintings or something at one time. I don't know, a few grunts and some fermented fruit, and it was game on, baby. So there's usually a very big lowering of inhibitions when it comes to our most primal desire. But you got to watch out for is the impulsiveness that might happen as a result of having a few drinks. You got to be safe and you got to practice, safe sex. But in the end, it's all about reduced inhibitions. Alcohol makes us lose our guard and forget our worries. So we'll say what we think or feel instead of holding back out of fears of being rejected. And it bypasses the games. I think that's the part that we like the most, which means he's going to tell you his real feelings at that moment. When he's sober later, he might want to raise his embarrassment shields again, so you got to be prepared for that. So don't go reciting back everything he said as being gospel. he was probably just lowering those shields a bit. And you know what? Sometimes we do lower our standards a bit when we've had a few drinks. And sometimes that's a good thing. It's really easy to be too critical of other people as a way to defend ourselves against possible rejection later on. But you know what? If you want to get to the core of how he really feels without the need for alcohol to lower his defenses, I'd like to humbly suggest another alternative. Why not work on your attraction skills and make him intoxicated by just your presence alone? I think that's going to be super effective for you. So watch some more of these videos. Go down below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. And of course, watch some more. I've got some great tips for you on how to win his heart. Just make sure you like this video and click the link in the description below. And I'll be talking to you next time. This is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. As always, live and love with passion.